Chapter 2. It was 8:30 p.m. when they finally parked their vehicle in the parking lot of the radio station. Everything surrounding them was invisible in the fog. Such heavy fog was not unusual at this time of year. Sometime in mid-February, when winter bids goodbye in the northern part of the country, it was one such day. The doors of their cars opened, sharing the dense fog surrounding them. The chill in the air immediately attacked them and they were quick to get into their jackets. While they talked, the warm air they exhaled blended with the clouds of fog they were in, running the zip of his jacket up till his neck once again. Amardeep gave the others some food for thought. What is it like? 5 degrees? Manpreet didn't delay. Slipping his iPhone out of his pocket, he flaunted the gadget as he consulted it and corrected Amardeep. 7.555 degrees Celsius, which is 45.59 Fahrenheit. Inside, he felt happy that finally a moment came wherein he could fall upon his superhuman gadget. A tech-savvy guy, he seldom missed an opportunity to exercise the use of his American gadgets and enjoyed converting Indian measure into American units all at the same time. Snug in their jackets, jeans, and leather boots, they walked towards the radio station, their footsteps marching in unison. Stride the hibernating silence in the parking lot. Happy was aware who he had to meet at the station. By now, he had already got a call from the radio station's event manager. At the entrance, they pushed open the packed glass doors. Nothing this, the security guard sitting inside hastily got into his described action. He confronted them with the usual "Who are you and whom do you want to meet?" questions. Holding his gun, he collected the invitation card that Happy showed him in reply. He pursued through the same, letting them now that he could read. Satisfied, he led the three of them to the couch in the reception area. While they occupied their seats, he proceeds to pass on the invitation card to the receptionist at the desk. Behind the desk, on the wall, flashed the Ghent brand logo. Super Hits 93.5 FM radio. बजाते रहो. Contrast no Manpreet wishes the receptionist wasn't that he, but she was pretty in an innocent way and looked extremely professional. I hope you all are here for the Baat Baki show, she politely asked, standing up from her chair. Yes, Happy turned his head and replied, kindly take the corridor on your right and go straight. Room number 3 on your right is where you need to go. Shambhavi has been waiting for you. Now, that's a nice name. Manpreet almost said that this out loud, kicking out the silhouette of the would-be receptionist from his mind and developing one of the would-be RJ hosts now, unaware of Manpreet's misbehaved thoughts. Happy led the team. This was the first time they were at a radio station and they were observing the environment they were in. As they walked on the green carpet in the narrow corridor, they noticed the formal silence persisting in the radio station. The path was illuminated only with dim lights installed overhead, creating a red haze of vision. They passed a series of fluorescent room numbers which were put up on the doors. They stopped by room number 3. Happy quietly pushed the door open. Manpreet and Amardeep followed him in. The RJ for the show was waiting for them. Hello, I'm Shabambi, a beautiful voice of a beautiful girl welcomed them, while offering a quick handshake to the three of them. Shambhavi further said, I have been waiting for you. For his own naughty delight, Manpreet didn't allow that handshake to be quick. He felt her hands radiating a further chill through his already cold hands. The three of them introduced themselves to Shambhavi, and it was Shambhavi's turn now. With a smile, she said, I'm your host and the RJ for our show, Raat Baki, Baat Baki, for which you all are here tonight. She quickly interacted with everyone and, feeling the absence of Raven, inquired, Where is Raven? Her inquiry brought in a moment of panicked silence with the three guests momently looking at each other, and before Happy could open his mouth to reply, the door on the other side opened and a tall man came running in with some papers in his hand. Shambhavi rushed. You have 30 seconds to go leave. Shambhavi rushed. You have 30 seconds to go live. Apartan said. He was the only guy who appeared to the rushing. Why are you always so panicky? Shantanu said Shambhavi, showing some attitude and flaunting her confidence. Relax. Shambhavi quickly gathered the spilled over papers on the table beside her and walked inside the audio room, commanding Shantanu take care of them and explain everything in detail. Once Ravin is here, we will go live. Keep going fast. Giving due acknowledgement to her guests, she walked for a split second to give an excuse me. I have to rush. She inside looked. As she walked in, the others kept looking at her. Happy swallowed his incomplete answer back to the bottom of his throat. Through the game glass window, they could see the entire inside of the radio room. It had a big table in the center taking up almost the entire space of the room, which was the only duly lit part of the room. The table was decked with various high-tech audio gadgets, with headphones installed overhead. Watching as this felt new. The next 15-minute conversation with the three of them brought in further disappointed for Shantanu. He was told something which was not in the play. What? He didn't believe what he heard and cross-checked one more time. He heard the same answer again from Amardeep. Then, how are we going to have this show? Demanded Shantanu. Aged. He invested a minute to think of something and then, probably when nothing appeared in his mind, he did what he was good at. He rushed. Back in Shambhavi's audio room, he cautiously pushed open the door and popped his head in. Just like any given day, Shantanu's fear was ignored by her, quickly muting her microphone while there was a song running in the background. She blasted at him. You always come with panic attacks. Now you would say that we would need to carry on the show without Raven, isn't it? Ah, yes. The word came haltingly out of his mouth, followed by what? And Shantanu's so-called what remained incomplete when Shambhavi ignored Shantanu's reasoning and instead asked him to send the three of them in. I will handle it. Let the producer. Now the Raven is not in and we are going without him. That's all she had to say. Apparently, apparently, for Shambhavi. This was yet another show, part of her daily job, which she had to complete on time before leaving for the day. That's it. Shantanu realized there was no point in explaining things to Madam Hitler, and therefore he somberly walked back. Sir, she is the habit of getting carried away and not listening to me, Shantanu stated, expecting them to understand him. Happy smiled and stood up to confront Shantanu. Relax, we will handle this inside, don't worry. As the three of them looked inside the audio room from the gained glass window, Shambhavi waited for them to enter. They obeyed and entered.